Sorry we're a
Good
minute
morning.
late, but better late than never, right, Jeff?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
uh, oh man, well, I looks like your signals kicked up strength right when we hit live too, so that's good. So hey,
Unbelievable.
let's get this mental Monday started right here on Sales Chatter Live, y'all.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly.
All right. Well, of course, we got morning. Happy Monday from Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Morning, Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa, I got to mention this. So, Jeff, first off, before I get into my weekend. How was your weekend? How was?
Oh man, it was great. Took the wife out for dinner on Saturday. Hit the casino. Had a little bit of my time. Actually, I didn't even look at emails yesterday. I couldn't believe it. It was like the first time in a long, long time, and I was like, you know
Good
what?
for you.
Yeah, I know. It is good for me. It's good when you're able to go and do that kind of stuff. And I just said, F it, man. I am putting that sucker down and I ain't looking at it. So it was a good weekend though. It was a good weekend. How about yours?
Good for you, man. It was good. It was good. I will say, shout out to Lisa. So Lisa sent me a message over the weekend, made my day. And had something to do with this show, and so thank you again for your support and everything, Lisa. But
Yeah.
and that's kind of what sparked my idea for the Audible. Dan, I shout out everybody. Dan will, I believe, join us tomorrow and be back. So fingers
He
crossed.
might join us
Hopefully.
today. Yeah, he
What's
might
that?
join us today. He
Oh,
said
okay.
that
So
if
he may even come in and join us today, guys. So
yes,
be
absolutely.
on the lookout for Dan. But I will tell you, so kind of the Audible of the since I don't have to be able to go through the Mayhem Monday stack of our stack, I figured we'd do a little mental Monday. And I think my reason for this, I know last month I'd seen a few posts about I think last month or maybe it's this month. I don't know which month it even is, but there's one month that's a men's mental health awareness month, which I was surprised about because I never even knew. And I think mental health is a thing that really needs to be talked about even more. Sports is doing a great job of doing it and bringing it to light. But I think as salespeople, guys, as entrepreneurs, if there's entrepreneurs watching this right now, as high level achievers, you may not. Some of our jobs may not be physically demanding, but the mental side of things can really destroy you. And
Yes.
so that's really where I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit today, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
So Lisa, yes, Jeff, me time and time with 35. Yes.
Yes.
We have to take those breaks. And Jeff, I'm glad you did that. So how are you feeling today? Before we get into kind of the quotes I want to break down and just the whole self-awareness, really want to focus on and talk about self-awareness. Yeah, I guess how are you feeling after your break? It was worth it, right?
I feel
refreshing.
great.
You ready to go?
Absolutely. I love Mondays, man. You know, I'm one of few. A lot of people don't like Mondays, but man, I look forward to it on Friday because I know what's coming down the pike and I'm excited about it. I'm all pumped up. You know, I got a lot of good things going on this week. So, I mean, for some, it may be Mayhem Monday, but not for me. I look forward to Mondays, man. How about yourself?
I'm glad you said that because that kind of gets us started. Good morning, Antoine. I am so glad you said that. Morning, Antoine. So, yes, I am super excited about Mondays as well. But there was definitely a lot of times throughout my life that I was not, whether it was the job or the boss or something I had going on. There was a lot of times that Mondays were not. It was the day that it was, it was that Sunday. Oh gosh, kind of that feeling you get as a kid. I used to get as a kid in school sometimes. You knew, either you had a big assignment that week or something, and you're like, no. Sunday needs to continue. The weekend, like, I'm not ready for this. I think
Right.
I think that's the first key of self-awareness that I really I wanted to focus in on, actually. So I'm glad you said that. If you wake up Mondays, if you're dreading Mondays, and you're an adult, you're not a kid anymore. You have responsibilities, you have family, you have your why, you have you. Uh, that's your first sign of self-awareness, that you're not doing something you want to do. You are
Right.
not in a place you want to be. There's something going on that you don't want. And that is where it wasn't until I started to really focus on
Yeah.
self-awareness and those things. Um, Thank you, Antoine. Nice shirt. Yes. I thought I
Yeah.
might get it.
You know something, DJ? What you just said, I think it's quote unquote, there's something going on. You don't know what that is. I think the issue is that you do know what it is, but you don't
Mm,
want to accept it. And you
yes.
don't want to accept it until you dig deep into your inner self and pull that sucker out and address it for what it is. You're still going to be in that deep hole, just burying yourself, burying yourself, burying yourself, because it multiplies every single day until you get that out and you realize what's bugging you, what's not allowing you to do what you love to do or to be successful. You really got to dig down and do that. I mean, I did that. And, there was a time that
Oh,
I was in the dumps too. I think everybody goes through those kind of things until you finally realize that, you know what, this is the issue, and you address it. And next thing you know, you start moving down that right path and you get off the left path and you don't down there anymore. So yeah, I think that's what you really need to do, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're working by yourself. You said something in the beginning too. You said it's not so much physically, but more mentally. Well, when you really think about it, it is physically, because when
it
you're not
is.
moving and you don't take that time out, and I fail on this, I'm honest, and you sit at your desk and you don't move and you don't do this, it can become physically.
Yes.
Your mental part could be into what you're focusing in on the daily task, but now you have to start focusing inwards and start taking care of this. This is your
Oh,
temple.
I'm
And
so glad you said that, Jeff. Man, we are right in line, and I love it. Yes, 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 yes. First quote I was going to mention is an anonymous quote, but I loved it, and it's talking about self-awareness. The key to keeping your balance is to know when you've lost it. Well, if you aren't aware of how you are feeling, how do you
right,
know if you're out of whack? How do you know if you're dreading Mondays, if you're hating to hit that alarm clock, you're hating that the next week starts uh, inwardly, or you're just avoiding it? Maybe you don't hate it. Maybe hate's a strong word. Maybe you're just avoiding it. Maybe you are hiding from it, running from it. You have to feel that and be honest with that. If you aren't, and you're just wandering through the weeks and the days, just trying to survive, you will eventually come to a break. You will come to a breaking point. And that's where focusing on this and just being self-aware. And again, the key to keeping your balance is to know when you lost it. You don't
yes,
know if you lost balance if you didn't have balance to begin with. And
right.
that's where I think it's so crucial. Man, yes, I love what you said there, Jeff. Another quote that I had that we'll go right into, because I thought this was great. This is Stephen Covey, and amazing book.
Love him.
In our personal lives, if we do not develop our own self-awareness and become responsible for first creations, we empower other people and circumstances to shape our lives by default.
Yeah.
That is power. If you aren't self-aware enough to take that power and control yourself, others will do it for you. But
Yes.
that could be why you're dreading Monday mornings, why you're dreading the week. And we have to, again, just be very, very aware of that. The
Yeah.
awareness inside that you feel, guys, it's there. It's there telling you everything. Our bodies, our emotions, our
Gotta listen.
feelings, our everything. You mentioned the weakness of body and how it can mentally, and when I said physically and mentally, and I'm glad you talked on that. You cannot do something physical for months, but this will break you down to even more than if you worked out, and we're destroying your body physically for 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you think about that quote, Jeff? And you
You know,
said Stephen Covey.
I
Have you read
love
his books?
I love Stephen Covey, and he wrote a book called Seven Habits of Very Successful People.
Yes,
And I think it's
great,
chapter
great book.
4 is try first to understand and then to be understood, right? And that was like the takeaway. I believe it was chapter 4 in that book, and it's a great read. And I anybody out there that has not read it should. There's
Yeah.
another book out there as well that I read very, very long time ago, and I shared it with my associates when I was working on the other side, and it was called The Book of Execution by
Mm.
Bossity. And I highly recommend you reading that. It's been out there for some time now, but it kind of helps you on Steve Covey with the 7 Habits of Successful People. It kind of helps you drive into the direction that you need to go in. And then the Book of Execution actually helps you to solve the problems and the tasks that are in front of you and to execute upon whatever it may be. Let's get back to the physical part of yourself, and then the mental part. The same holds true on the Book of Execution, because if you need to take care of yourself, you have to execute upon it. If you have to do something mentally, you have to execute on that as well. And then you can combine that too. You just can't go out and run a marathon, right? So you have to go out there and train. The same thing is every single day, daily. You have to train yourself to get into that right rhythm, to get
Yes.
yourself going in the right direction. And that's what it's all about.
Rhythm. I'm glad you mentioned rhythm. Rhythm is something they talk about in Outwitting the Devil quite a bit. But back to Stephen Covey, his story was amazing. I've probably listened to that Audible book. That was one of the big ones that I first kind of went to quite a few years ago, but I've definitely listened to it a few times. His story of living under the bridge, of the thing he went through with his parents, of just life. And again, everybody, we have to remember this. Life is not easy. It's never, it doesn't matter for the richest people out there, for anybody who doesn't have money and who thinks once you have money, like it's going to make life easier. It doesn't. It probably for most makes it harder because you don't know who's really actually there for you at that time and who really still doesn't care and is only there for another reason. And so I think, his story and what he went through, and just, yeah. And again, it was a mission. It was a journey. It was a mission, and it's
Yes.
wisdom that he shared in that book. Yeah. You
Yeah.
got to go read that book if you have not seen that book, y'all.
Yeah. And something that's really funny. I saw this logistics meme over the weekend, and it was a person describing what logistics is to a doctor. And the doctor was sitting there just like, we work in a very, very tough industry. We do, compared to everything else that's out there, the daily demands that we have on us, not just for ourselves and where we need to go, but you've got so many other people that you're accountable for, your customers, your carriers, the people that you may or may not have that work for you and stuff like that. It's a huge demand. It's a huge workload, and that's why I said some time ago, if you remember, when I had high blood pressure and everything, I let everything get to me. And then one day I just said, I don't give a shit. Honestly, I just don't give a shit. But I didn't mean it in a bad way. I meant in a good way, where there are things that you have control over, And there are many, many things out there you have absolutely no control over, but yet you think that you have to control that. And you can't, because the powers are against you, man. You just can't. So you just have to figure that out. And that was one of the hardest things for me. You know, I failed many, many times. I think anybody in this industry has failed a lot. And anybody say who didn't, they're lying. That something happened to them in this industry. I can guarantee you that. Think about that feeling, right? Do you want to feel that every single day? Do you want to live that kind of lifestyle? You know, if you're in this industry and you want that feeling, you shouldn't be in this industry. You know? There's so many good things about it. And like I said, lean on people. You know, if you're by yourself, you're an entrepreneur, you work in a home, not in an office, and you don't have that camaraderie with people every single day. Look, you know, we talk every morning.
Find shows like this, find YouTube, Audible, books.
There's other shows. I'm not saying watch us and stuff. There's so many different articles. There really are, that you can choose on a daily basis. You know, we just try to inform you and just give our own personal opinions, you know, advice and what we've gone through personally. And even though we have that experience and you haven't, we're trying to prepare you for the day that it does happen. And then how do you react to it in a very positive way, not a negative way. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yes. No, that was so good. And I'll go with the quote that I had next, because it kind of ties into what you said. The easiest person to deceive is one's own self. And that was Edward George Bulwer-Lytton. And guys, that's the truth. But at the same time, it's what will defeat us and what makes us, until we are honest about it, what will make us doubt everything else and everybody else is we lie to ourselves. We deceive ourselves, and we don't own that. And that's where self-awareness is the key. Again, I used to beat myself up. I didn't understand how I beat myself up so much. Like, why? You know, as a kid here, I get into something a little bit deep, but I think it's good for this talk, this conversation. Wait, I come from Mexican, Italian, mixed with a lot of different other things. So good food, bad tempers, and we won't go any further than that. But as a young kid, maybe I was blessed with my dad's metabolism, maybe not, but could eat and do anything, as skinny as can be. Didn't have a concern in the world when it came to weight or food. Was always probably had a lot to do with I was always playing some kind of sport. So I was always busy too, and really didn't take that into thought or consideration as I got older. You know, you get out of high school, then you start to get into real life, and that other stuff doesn't matter, and you don't have time for the fun exercise, and you're just grinding. And I've tried every exercise. I've tried from P90X to Insanity to Advocare to anything you could think of. I tried. Never got into the whole keto, because it was almost cult-like. You had to know too much. It was too much work. It seemed like another job for the meal prep. So I give you anybody in keto, you guys are killing it, especially with your checking ketosis and all that stuff. I sound like different language I had to learn. But so I know I'm very self-aware that the fact I need easy. I need it to be very simple. Do this, that's it. Okay. I figured that out with cooking. Maggie will tell you. I say that I'm not a good cook because I literally need direction by direction. And once I get to a direction that does not make sense, I'm like, whoa, I'm not guessing. I can't do this. And that's just me. So I need very easy. I need it laid out. And so I was finally able to, but it was the self-awareness first that was my bigger thing, because again, if I didn't wake up, or if I was having this or that go on, or oh no, I have this week's going to be crap. So then I just give up on everything. And I would do that. I was doing that constantly, not even noticing that I was doing that. But until I really was like, oh man, why am I'm now in this deep, dark hole because of this one thing that really just threw me off. And now I don't care what I eat. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. And I'm not caring about anything. And it's because of one thing. But it was really me lying to myself, realizing that I'm lying to myself, letting myself down to not stick to these simple, very easy things. And that's where, it was the focusing on that and really realizing, look, you're lying to yourself and it's okay.
Yes.
You notice you lied to yourself. Now don't do that. And don't beat yourself up about it. You're human. Again, guys, when you realize that this, I say the brain is the devil, your heart is the good wolf. Good wolf, bad wolf. That's why I say the good wolf and bad wolf. Again, I'm not going to get spiritual. I'm not going to get into all of that. But to me, that was the easiest, the bringing it down to the normal. Good wolf or good wolf, bad wolf. Don't listen to this, but this is there to protect me. So this is only looking for the bad. It's only searching the bad, but it also is going to search the bad in yourself. So if this is telling you you need to exercise more, you need to wake up early, don't eat that, don't do that, don't stay up late. But this is telling you, maybe you need a break. Maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need this. Again, in here, we're just lying to ourselves. And that's why I picked this quote. The easiest person to deceive is one's own self. Because if you are not truly happy, and you cannot be truly happy if you're just wandering around in the rhythm, not being very aware with what's going on, mostly inside of you, you're not going to find it. I promise. Yep. And that's where once I really started to hone in on that, once I really started to listen, Lisa just said it. Lisa, thank you for the comments. My goodness. Yep. Rationalize and tell lies to ourselves. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And Lisa said, listen to that voice. Yes.
Absolutely.
We feel like it's a guilt. I like to say, and I like to joke, I actually have a friend, a very close friend. I call him my Jiminy Cricket. He's kind of my, from the cartoon movies, even the I think there's the Ghost of Christmas Past, that whole movie with and we also have that inside of us. Usually it seems like guilt or it sounds like guilt. If it sounds like guilt, that's still us. That's us telling us, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, but you can't beat yourself up. Stop. Yep. It happened. Like you said, Jeff, it happened. It is what it is. You don't, you said something that I think I've said it to a few people and I know they took it bad too. You said, I just don't care. I can't care about that. And you said, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right.
And I think that's, we try to justify that comment, but really it's not that we don't care, but we don't let it affect us or throw us off more than it really needs to. And that is the difference. I say that quite a bit. Like, look, I'm not going to worry about that. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they think. And it's not that I don't care what other people think, but I know what I think. If that is being destroyed by what other people are thinking, then if I'm just responding to that, it's internally is destroying me. And I'm very aware of that now. And that's that voice that Lisa says, listen to that voice. Everybody, we all have that voice inside of us, and we've hid from it. We hide from it. There's still a little kid inside of us, and every single one of us, remembering all of the emotions that we've had to go through. Again, depending on how you were raised, the journey of self-awareness is quite an experience. But if you can really forgive yourself, if you can really forgive the bad feelings, the bad thoughts you maybe think you had, or the bad things you think you did, even the bad things you did, we're human. We are all human. Again, we all have this internal battle, this internal civil battle, civil war. Andy Grammer, great song. Look it up, everybody. Civil War. We were born with a civil war inside of us daily. And we need to share that with others. Having a good community of people around you that you can share that with, having a Jiminy Cricket, having somebody that you can rely on when you can't rely on yourself. That's what God is for. That's what that higher power to looking for when you don't have the strength in yourself. That's why you need a good group around you who's going to be there to listen to those battles. Because we all have them.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go back to what you said that, in your youth, it brings me to the movie 300. Did you ever see the movie 300?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm immortal. We're not.
Yes.
That's the problem. When we're young, we think that way. We think we're immortal, that nothing can harm us, nothing can affect us and everything. And as we grow, it's like I could eat pizza. I could eat everything I wanted, never gained an ounce. I was always outside running around, bicycle on a unicycle, doing this, doing that, motorcycles, you name it, right? And all of a sudden we get old and we stop doing the things that we love, and do all that stuff. And then the next thing you know, instead of being 171 pounds at 6'2", you're 240 at 6'4". It's like, what the hell happened?
Yes.
And I realized that, and the next thing you know, I went down to 171 pounds, just like you, DJ. And I felt fantastic. And then my knees went. The next thing you know, I'm back up to 230 again. Feeling like crap. So I've got to get back into that. You got to feel that kind of stuff when you think about yourself and what you need to do. I need to start doing that. I said it this morning when I woke up. This week I'm going to start doing something.
And when we have those feelings, start small.
That's it. We are not immortal. We're not,
Yes.
And that's the same thing with business and stuff like that. You have to appreciate today. Yesterday is gone. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring us. Nobody does. We might have an idea, but anything can happen between now and then. So while you're in the moment, do the best that you possibly can, to meet those goals, that daily goal, the daily objective, personally, physically, mentally, and you'll get to where you are. Yes, you can forecast, you can budget, you can go out several months, but you need to be in the moment today. Today is today, and that's where everything starts to change if you want it.
Yes. Start today, but start today also with, again, I love that you said something, and I think we'll end it with this and then a quote, because we are pushing on time. But you said about a kid. What really changed for me was I now picture myself. I vision that there is still me, the little me that I see in pictures is still in there, but it's not me now. It's me as a kid. It's my kids. I see my kids, but that's me in me. And so you can't beat that person up. They want to do what they love. You mentioned we don't do what we love. I think that is one of the big things. That is what changed my happiness. I am now doing what I love. I'm not chasing the dreams that I thought I was supposed to be like everybody else, or to fit in that box that everybody chases. I'm chasing my dreams, my crazy ideas and goals, but and things couldn't be any harder, but I couldn't be any happier, and that is the hardest thing to understand. But once you do, and you said it, it's because I'm doing what I love. And so when you do what you love, when you do what is your passion, even in the hardest times, it's just going to make you want to push even more. And that's where I think we all lie to ourselves. And that's probably the first biggest battle that we all have. Again, I knew for a long time, hopping job to job to job to job to here to there to everywhere, that I wasn't really made to just work and be just here, that I had bigger, I had more, but I had to take the risk when nobody else around me was thinking that way or doing that. And it was scary, and it's something hard, but I had to be true to that little kid in me, saying, hey, like, why are you torturing me locked here, trapped in doing this same hamster wheel stuff that you just can't do? Like, you can't be trapped in that glass container in that wheel just doing this. And that's, I had to be true with that, and I had to be honest, and I had to go through a lot of struggles, and the journey is hard, and the road is rocky.
Bumpy. It's bumpy.
But the people. But again, if your network is your net worth, be true with your ICP, and your ICP, your ideal client profile, not just for your customer, but for the people you surround in your life. If you wouldn't do business with them, or don't want to be friends with them for 10, 20, 30, 40 years until you die, don't do business or be friends with them for a day. Be honest with yourself. Feel that. Be aware of that. Surround yourself with like-minded people wanting to do the same things. Find shows like this, other shows out there. There's so many amazing shows.
Absolutely.
Jay Shetty has an amazing podcast. Tony Robbins, Tom Bilyeu. I mean, I can name them all. There's so many good ones out there. Listen. Work on yourselves, take care of yourselves, take care of that little kid that's still there inside of you. He or she learned a lot of lessons, maybe good, maybe bad. But there are lessons that are in you, and they're not going to change until you are aware of them and decide that you like them or don't like them. And then you decide if you want to change them. But it's you. Control the controllables. Don't worry about everything else. Life is hard. It's going to be hard. It's always hard. It's never easy, but growing is not easy. Staying still is easy. You got to grow.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Hopefully, this was a good start to everybody's week. Again, not the excitement that we bring usually on Mondays, but I really wanted to focus. I've seen a lot of posts on mental health and men's mental health. Listen, guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I know we don't talk politics much on here, so I'm not going to go deep into that. But the world is what it is now. Again, weak. There's the whole saying, strong men create good times, that whole thing. We're in the bad times right now, y'all. We got to be honest with that. But don't be defeated. Find people around you doing the same thing.
Yep.
Take care of that little kid inside of you. And just listen to that voice. Don't lie to yourself. If you're feeling a certain way inside, there's probably something that is not going right. And a quote, I don't want to ruin the quote, but it was an amazing quote I seen on a video. And this is not the quote to take us out, but I'll let you finish up, Jeff. But quote that I heard about that is, miracles happen when everything in your universe is in tune. When they're not happening, that's when you should wonder what's wrong. That's what you got. If you're feeling a certain way, if you don't have that internal happiness, if you don't feel like a kid loving what you do, not ready to wake up like it's Christmas morning on Monday mornings, reach out to me. Let's have a half-hour talk. Reach out to Jeff. I'm sure Jeff would gladly chat as well. But again, and it's so crazy. It's okay to do this. A heart from Jay Shetty just popped up on my I wish I could share the screen right now. Y'all, this is crazy. But yeah, Jay Shetty, just a shout out from YouTube was it's okay to do this with a heart. Was from Jay Shetty. But again, go ahead. What's your thoughts, Jeff? And then we'll close it out.
Well, you know what? It's not just about men's mental health. It's about women's as well.
Well, yeah, it's everybody. Again, I didn't want to make this.
They struggle just as much as men. So if it has to do with a male, it has to do with the female. Plain and simple.
Everybody's mental health. Listen,
they get just as affected as we do.
Yes,
and sometimes even worse. I mean, when you think about it, and the things that they go through compared to us, and a lot of things are unfair, and that all goes down to mental wellness as well, and how they get affected by that. And my own beliefs is don't listen to them, don't let them affect you. You're much better than what you are. Things are changing. They're talking about it more and more every day. Any article that you read upon, women are now getting noticed. They are getting into those higher ranking positions.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. It's time well past due. And, things are starting to move in the right direction, even though we have some hard times right now. I can see that. You can see the momentum that it's taking now more than ever before, which I'm thankful for. And I know that the women out there as well are very thankful, because they were wondering when things were going to happen. So again, take care of yourself. Don't take things to heart. Like DJ said, don't let this screw things up, because it happens all the time.
That's right.
And if you need to talk, chat, question, whatever it might be, DJ is available. I'm available. Reach out to a friend, reach out to an associate, reached out to an old boss. They're there to help you, and they will get you back on that right path, traveling at the speed that you need to travel, and all things will come to an end, and you will be thankful you did that.
Yes, I agree, Jeff, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, I know I mentioned men's health. This was for everybody. We got great women leaders out there watching. Nicole Glenn, shout out there. Lisa, obviously, she running your company. Kids.
Oh yeah, she's got a great company.
Stress. Listen, there's a lot of stress. Again, guys, you need to remember the most important person you have to take care of is yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else.
Reach out.
That's right. Quote to take us out. Thank you, Jeff, again for filling in and joining us.
Not a problem. Anytime, DJ.
This has been fun, man. And why is this not? There we go. Quote to take us out is from Marcus Aurelius. This is a good one. It's whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself, what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? Again, guys, just focus on ourselves. It's all we can control.
Until tomorrow.
Have a great week, y'all. Make it a big week.
Absolutely.
Take care of yourselves. Love yourself.
Centurion Trucking. Our motto is people before profit. Today's market requires more transparency, consistency, and focus on what our clients need to win. Centurion Trucking and American Logistics are poised to help their clients achieve and surpass their targets. If you're looking for a team that honors your needs, dreams, and aspirations, then get a hold of Daman at American Logistics or Centurion Trucking and start designing your career